Hey guys, it's Mrs. Jarrett. I hope you guys are all doing well and are very safe and healthy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use value to create three-dimensional form. So value is one of the elements of art that we've talked about before, and it is the lightness or darkness of a color. And we use value in order to create form on a two-dimensional surface. So this is a flat piece of paper. It's two-dimensional, but I can create three-dimensional form by using value on this circle that I've now turned into a sphere just by adding value to it. So we're going to do a quick practice lesson on this before we apply it to your project. At this point, you should have used the video to help you draw some three-dimensional shapes and combining those three-dimensional shapes to create some buildings of some sort, a scene, maybe a barn silo, or a building with a chimney, a castle of some sort. So this is where you need to be at this point with your drawing in pencil. And then moving forward, you will be using oil pastels to shade your three-dimensional forms, and we're going to use value to make them look more three-dimensional. So before we do that, we need to do this quick warm-up. So on a piece of paper, you're going to draw a circle, and I'll put my camera as close as I can so you can see it. So just start with a nice big circle on a piece of paper. It's hard to see. Hold on a second. Let me darken that a little bit. All right, there we go. And you want to pick a direction where your light source is coming from. So light shines from the top of an object, so either the left side or the right side. And on that side, you're just going to draw a quick little sun with some arrows pointing down so we know that the light is coming from that direction. In order to shade your sphere and create value, you need 3 oil pastels, a white, a color of your choice, and a black. Now keep in mind, if your color of choice is a very light color like yellow or orange or pink, you're going to want to trade in your black oil pastel for a gray one because those are lighter colors. I'm using a blue, so that's kind of a medium tone, so I'm going to stick with my black and my white. So I'm going to start with my color of choice, and I'm going to start to shade in my circle. Now, when we shade something that is round, we want to use a curved line. Using a curved line will help that object appear more round, and it will help my circle become more like a sphere. Okay, and you can see that I'm not really filling in the circle completely because with oil pastels and blending, we really want to layer the colors. So filling it in really dark right now isn't important. You can outline the outer edge just to give you a nice shape. We do want to stay inside the lines, of course, when we shade this in. Okay, so then I'm going to start with my white. Some more things behind this, sorry guys. Okay, so my light is coming from this side. So I'm going to take my white oil pastel. Oh, and my oil pastel is dirty from my video that I did yesterday. So don't forget that when your oil pastels are dirty, you can clean them with a paper towel. You guys know this, right? So clean the oil pastel so it's nice and fresh for you to blend with. All right, so I'm going to take that white and I'm going to blend it on top of my blue in this corner because the light is hitting it here. So I want this to be a lighter value of blue. And since we have 3 oil pastels, we're going to break this up into thirds, kind of like a math lesson. So thirds is 3 sections. So 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be my lighter value, which we call a tint. And I really want to mix that so I don't see any white space underneath. This to be a nice light value of blue. Now, as I shift to my next third of my sphere, I'm going to move back to just my regular blue, and I'm going to load that up a little more heavy now so I don't see the white paper underneath. And I still am trying to use that curvy line as I color, and I'm going to bring that blue right down to about here. Ugh. I need something behind my paper. It's not holding up there too well for me. Okay, sorry guys. Now, you also want to shade a little bit in between this area so it doesn't just look like a line. So I might have to go back and forth with the white and the blue so that looks like just a very gradual or gentle change from light to medium and then into the dark. Now, this area down here is going to be my shade, and a shade of a color is when I add black to it. Now, the thing about black is once you add black, you can't go back from it. So you can't erase oil pastel. So when I'm putting this black down, I need to keep it really, really, really light. Just a little dusting, and you could even use the gray if you want to, if you're nervous about the black, because when I put this blue back on top, it's going to be really dark, really fast. Okay, so you can see now I have my light, my medium, and my dark side of my sphere, making my sphere now look rounded and more three-dimensional. Now what's really going to make my sphere pop off my page is the shadow. Now a shadow is an area of no light. However, we need light in order to make a shadow. So our light is hitting our sphere up here, and so the lightest spot. And as the light travels around the sphere, it becomes less bright. So it creates a darker value, and then underneath the sphere is where no light is being hit or shined upon. So right here would be the shadow, and the shadow takes shape of the object that it's underneath. So my shadow for a sphere would be rounded, and it's going to come from the bottom, and I'm using all black for this, no light. It's going to come from the bottom of my sphere underneath, out, and then back in, and I'm using a curved line again because my sphere is nice and round, and this is going to get colored in with solid black. Now keep in mind oil pastels do smudge, so just watch your side of your hand. If you get any oil pastel on there, it'll smudge your paper and it won't erase. So just take your time, work very carefully, and then of course we need a table line because we don't want our sphere floating in the air. Shadows are going to appear on a table or on the ground. This could be a ground line too. All right, so once you finish with this, take a picture of it, upload it, and submit it so I can check it out. This is considered your practice in order to prepare you for creating value on your three-dimensional shapes. So at this point, it probably would also be a good idea to make sure that your drawing, your 3D shapes are large and big enough, and just don't have a ton of detail at this point. Okay, so detail can be added later. As you can see here, I added some texture and some details on top. Okay, so give this a practice, creating form with value. Good to see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.